welcome back to Celebrity with Nene. I'm Nene, and today my crew is Sean, Reese, and Johnny. So today we're going to be doing a recap of Love After Lockup, and the name of today's episode or yesterday's episode was Conned Again. Okay, so the episode starts off with we see Amber going to an address that she has gotten from Puppy's mom of where Puppy is probably staying at. So when the scene ended last week, we just saw Amber knocking on the door. Well, today we finally see who was at the door, and it was a guy that actually answered the door. And she asked her Puppy. He was kind of like, "Well, who are you?" or whatever. She says who she is, and so he goes and gets Puppy. All right, so she comes out, and her and Amber start talking, but what's funny is the questions that Amber was asking her, she really wasn't answering, or she was kind of giving indirect answers and things. She had asked Amber, well, what are you doing here? And she's like, well, I'm looking for you. Nobody knows where you are. And she's like, oh, that's for the best for me right now. And she tried to ask her about the guy that was there, and she was just like, that's none of your business, things of that nature. So she didn't get anywhere with Puppy, except she did get to see that Puppy is alive and is okay. And Puppy didn't look high to me, so we can assume that she is probably clean over there at that house. But it's just who is that guy and why is she choosing to stay there? And you can tell. And so then we see Amber get back in the truck with Queen, and they drive off. So what did you guys think of us finally seeing Puppy?
First of all, I'll go. She's pretty. Like, I thought she was really pretty. I was kind of expecting, because I saw she was really pretty in the previews or whatever. But I was kind of expecting her to look a little raggedy because she's been missing. She hasn't been following what's going on with her mom. So I was like, oh man, this chick gonna look like cracked out and crazy and all this other. But she actually looked good. And then I also thought, like, when she knocked on that door, I feel like they kind of showed it was a dude a little bit. I don't know if it's in a preview or if it was in it probably was a preview. But so I kind of knew a dude was gonna answer, but then I thought it was gonna be some drama with that. So that scene actually, I liked it because I feel what Puppy was saying. Like, okay, you said you don't want me, whatever. Even though I think she's taking what a girl said. She said, "Get yourself together, and then we can talk." But if Puppy feels like she moved on with old boy, Sammy or whatever his name, and then she's moved on or whatever, then it is true. Like, leave her alone. Like, if she does not want that type of friendship, relationship, whatever, then you gotta do what you gotta do. But I also agree that old girl, like, she loved her, so she went to find out she was okay. Now that she knows, I guess she can just move on. But it was that I feel like that scene still was real because Puppy was like, "What you doing here? Why? You don't care about me? You what? Oh boy, And then it does kind of seem like, okay, what's going on? Is she having problems with Sammy? Because why would you go find her? So
okay. So Sean, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I agree. I think it was enough for just closure, but then when people are looking for you, it shouldn't be a quick thing to say, I need time, I'm good, and be done with it. Like, I don't understand why she just couldn't say, I'm good. And then why are you disappeared from your mom? Like, that's what's crazy too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Sean, what do you think?
Oh, I agree with the comments that if you're done because she's looking for, and maybe it might be because she having issues with the other with Sammy, and she's keep Puppy in as close as possible. So if she has that opportunity to move back into that light spotlight, at least the door is open instead of just and sometimes it's best when a person don't want to be bothered, just let them be. Let them know. Because she said you want what's the best for me, and she said the best for me is to not to be bothered. However, when it comes down to her mom, that's a different story. Her mom is dependent on her to take her places and do things that she's supposed to do. And the whole thing when she kept on saying that, we had a plan and you messing up my plan, our plan. And
Mm-hmm.
no, you messed it up when you decided that you didn't want to be a part of this here plan. Because I agree with her on that part. Because if y'all supposed to have a plan and y'all supposed to go together in this plan, but now you wants to go on and get someone else when it's supposed to be me and you, then it's no longer our plan. So
Yeah.
you go I'll do your thing and I'll do my thing.
Yeah. True.
Okay. All right. So the next couple that came across.
Like everybody cutthroat on this thing. Like y'all like move on, bye. Why y'all like
Oh,
that?
oh, did you want to talk about it a little bit more?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, oh, girl does still love her. I think, like,
I think she
I mean,
does still love her, but I think
but
oh,
she's moved on with old boy. So I get it. Like, okay, everybody knows you with Sammy, right? His name's Sammy.
mm-hmm.
Everybody knows you with Sammy, and you know what I'm saying. You should have moved on, but it's like, I mean, obviously they have history because they were put on the show as a couple. So I mean, I don't know. All y'all like, oh, well, she said bye now, bye. I don't even know if she really means that though.
I have the feeling kind of don't. I think a piece of her is missing Puppy, but then at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, once Puppy got out, she was acting, doing the
Yeah.
most. So that's what kind of turned her off. But I don't think that she's completely done with Puppy yet.
Mm-mm.
That's just kind of the feeling that I
I don't
got.
think Puppy done with her either.
No.
I don't think that's fair for Puppy though. If you say we done and you moving on in a relationship with someone else, don't hold on to me. Just go ahead on, do your thing. Now,
But
if you
she,
can work it out to where they can be friends, and if Puppy don't mind being a friend, then that's for Puppy to
Yeah.
make the choice. But when you bring in a different person into the relationship, that's you saying that you don't want to have nothing to do with me because you had your opportunity to be me and you don't want me. So, move it on.
what did she say? She said she told Puppy, get yourself together and then we can do whatever.
So
Because she
why?
said she didn't tell Puppy, like, I'm done with you. She said, I'm done with you until you get your stuff together. And then Puppy's like, why ain't together?
Yeah.
So what's so Puppy supposed to do? She go on and get her guy and be with Sammy.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, because in theory, she told her, I don't want to be with you until you get your stuff together. But she ran and jumped with Sammy immediately. So if I was Puppy looking at that, I'm kind of like, wait a minute, but I thought if I get my stuff together, you're going to be with me. But you've already run to this man.
See, I
So,
guess I don't know the history on Sammy. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, how quick did she get back with him? Because to me, the little, when they showed the little thing, it almost was like, they have history, but they're just kind of getting back together. So I don't know. I mean, I guess if they've been together for a while now, I guess
yeah.
it
And it's
changes things.
also hard to tell the time frame on this show.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very hard to tell. But last season, it looked like Amber was talking to Sammy, like
Mm-hmm.
for the time that she got out, and probably while she was in prison, was talking to him. And then when Puppy broke up, because she went to him.
Okay.
I think from one of the recaps, I think it showed that they were all cool at one point. Like all four of them, Amber, Sammy, Puppy, and her
Queen.
friend. Yeah. And they were all in jail around the same time too. So it seems like
Sammy
there's
too?
a long, yeah, Sammy was in jail.
I know
too.
Sammy did time, but again, it's hard to tell the time frame. I don't know when he got out, but I do remember that Puppy, Amber, and Puppy's mom, the three of them were in prison together. Do you remember that? Oh, and Queen was in there
And
with them.
Queen
So it was
was in
four of
them,
them.
yeah. It seems like it's just a whole fun gang of prisoners. Ex-cons
Pretty
hanging
much.
out after jail.
Maybe that's the problem. They all need to move on.
They need to take some space from each other.
Yeah.
But I think what happens is you put yourself in a situation where you're like, I really love this person, but they're just not good for me right now. And she was pulling her in a bad situation. And that's why she was just like, you know what? I'm done. You're not going to put me at risk while you're doing your craziness. I'm out. And I think, but just because I'm out doesn't mean I don't care.
Yeah.
And that was the whole thing. Like, she just went ghost from everybody, even her mom. I think if Puppy had gone to her mom and her mom said everything was fine, she just needs her space from her, I think she wouldn't have been looking for her. But the fact that no one had heard from her just kind of made her nervous and just wanted to make sure that she was okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Any more comments on Amber and Puppy?
Yeah.
All right, well, then I guess we can go to our next couple, Shane and Lacey. So they show Shane and Lacey. They're driving to the beach. What kitty song was that they had playing over them as they were driving? I was like, this is silly. This is so silly. And so, yeah, they're driving to the beach. They make it to the beach. It's cold there. It's obvious it's cold at the beach. But Lacey says that Shane really wanted to do a family day at the beach. Okay. And so they've invited some of their friends and Lacey's dad. So when Lacey's friends arrive, they're sitting and they're talking, and she starts telling them what he's going through with Shane right now and him not wanting to touch her. And so her friend is like, well, do you think he's cheating? Have you gone through his phone yet? And so Lacey's like, no. And so they encourage her. They actually go grab his phone and bring it to her. It's like, you need to go through his phone. So she looks through his phone, and she does see he's talking to somebody. They only have the letter X as their name. And it was like, they've had fun at the gym. They had fun working out or whatever. And so, so of course, Lacey ends up getting upset, and she ends up running to the bathroom, and she actually calls her ex John from the bathroom, and it's like, just saying things that I get it. She was upset, but some things you just don't call your ex about, and you don't say to your ex, like questioning, the fact that you got married and stuff. Like, you can't do that, especially with an ex that would take you back in a heartbeat. You can't do that. Mm-hmm. And so that happened. I didn't really care for her calling John. And then she had also asked her dad to talk to Shane. So her dad does. And so her dad basically tells him, he's hurt. He's not helping around the house. They got bills coming in, so when is he going to get a paycheck and start bringing some paychecks home? And he wants him to step it up and be a better father to Summer, their baby. Which that conversation, I kind of felt like the dad went a little too far. Like, I get it if you were supposed to go and talk to him on her behalf, but he was being, I felt like, a bit harsher, a little bit rough with Shane a little bit. Because at the end of the day, that's his daughter's marriage. It's not his marriage. But I don't know. What did you guys think of Shane and Lacey this week?
First and foremost, if I'm going through your phone and I see another chick's name, I'm not going to run off and cry. I don't care where we're at. We're fixing to get into it right then and there. First and foremost. Secondly, I don't know what it is about this generation. Because I don't know how old she is, but you don't ask your daddy to fix your relationship. You fix it. You tell him what the requirements are. You let him know, hey, I appreciate you quitting your job to be here for me, but you're not, so I need you to get back to work. So I don't, that whole thing about having your daddy come in and, daddy, can you tell him, talk to him for me? No, that's just, I'm so confused.
Yeah.
I think you already have other kids with different men. You run and call your ex as soon as you have an issue. This whole thing just feels weird. Wrong, I guess. Not weird. Just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because if you really care, you confront the person that's hurting you. You don't go run off in shame.
Yeah. But unfortunately, that's a pattern for her, which I understand. Because, like, when she found out Shane cheated on her last time, immediately she ran and got John and then moved John back into the house with her. So, unfortunately, that's a habit she has. But part of that, like, I'm sorry, my ex cannot keep calling me every time the person you chose over me does you wrong. So then you call me for me to comfort you? Yep. Like, no. I'm sorry. Like, no.
Yeah.
You go back to that beach and you go handle your situation. But from what you said, Johnny, for me, I know if I had looked through the phone, I would have wanted to address what I saw. So considering I know how I am, I wouldn't have went through the phone in front of my friends. I would have waited till I got home. Then, I'm in the comfort of my home, and then went through that phone and addressed him if I saw something that concerned me. But I don't know. What do you think, Reese?
Well, I think like her friends. Okay, so I'm not mad at them, but I feel like they didn't give like, could it be? They made it like, I think he cheating. Go to the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's a way you can say that where it's like it could be maybe he's not, maybe he's putting on cologne when he goes to gym because he want to smell good before and after. Who knows? And maybe it's gonna come out he's cheating. I don't know. But I don't like the way the friends did it, but I understand why they did it. So I'm kind of torn on how the friends, the friend thing. But I know me, had I went through the phone, I would have probably called the chick. Like I
Yeah.
was calling them right then and
That's
there.
why I needed to be at
And
home.
so
I
yeah,
could
but
call.
I would have just did it at the beach. I'm with Johnny. I would have did it right there. And then after that, he would have got told by himself. And then I probably would have been in the bathroom crying. I wouldn't have been calling my ex because first of all, if it's an ex, because we know this is somebody who she deals with on and off, and that
Yeah.
she is probably in love with, who knows? He in love with her more than likely. They were living together, all that stuff. So he's going to he's gonna say things you want to hear. But it's a reason he's an ex. So, that's probably not what you want, even if he's comfort at that moment. Like I call a friend, you know what I'm saying? But don't call no ex, because what, you gonna mess around, sleep with him, something like that, and then what? You still got a broken marriage or going through a divorce. So to me, it's not even worth it. Like, if anything, I'm with Johnny again, solve your problem. Maybe if she asked her dad to ask him something else, but the dad came off real strong.
Yeah, like it was his relationship.
Yeah, and I don't agree with that part either. So if the dad could have came off a little bit like, hey, what are you planning on doing? Something like that. If she could have got him to be discreet about it, but I mean, she was like, you talking to him, right? So she knew he wasn't gonna be discreet.
Yeah. Or even if he's so concerned, like, hey, Lacey just let me know that, she does need some help from you financially.
Yeah.
So, what are you doing as far as looking for a job or something like that? I just feel like he just came in way too strong
He
and way
did.
too hard. He was like the
He
bull
did.
in the china shop with Shane.
Mhm.
That's the way
Yeah.
I felt. And then something else I didn't understand. You had friends right there on the beach that you could have cried to, if that's
And
what
they
it was
should
all
have went
about.
with her to the bathroom. Why did she go by herself? Y'all
Yeah.
talked her into doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like,
So
that's
what do you
messed
think,
up.
John? What are your thoughts?
He got a whole nother opinion.
That's
I
why.
know. I'm just waiting. Oh my gosh.
Y'all wrong.
Okay.
Wrong. That is
I know
wrong.
he's gonna. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put a disclaimer out there. I know he's gonna defend Shane. I know he is. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, Shane ain't do nothing wrong. The only person did something wrong in this situation is
Lacey.
Lacey, because she went through the phone.
She went through the phone.
Okay.
The other thing, the dad, because the dad, but the dad's being the dad, so I can't talk bad about the dad. But hold on, but we good. I can talk about him. The father did go too far. He did go too far with the situation. I think that she should have handled it herself, pulled him on the side, and said, "Hey, things at the house is a little rocky, like Johnny was saying, and you need to step up. I need you to go out and do some work or something." But the phone thing, when she went through the phone, and after the friends done bucked her up to go through the phone, and she went through it, that's when she should have went to her husband and talked to her husband and said, "Hey, what's up with this?" Instead of running to the bathroom. And what I thought was weird is that fact that she was barefooted and she went into that nasty bathroom floor. So I was like, yeah.
Oh my gosh, you don't want to get us started on that piece.
Yeah,
Because
that's why their feet is always dirty.
yeah, because they get on your toes and stuff, and then you go into the bathroom and walk on that little chart. Who knows what they did on that bathroom? And the last time they cleaned that bathroom,
Right. Or the last time that toilet overflowed onto that floor. It's just,
you know what I'm saying? That's just disgusting. But that's a different subject. But the dad, if he would have just stopped at the beginning, that I think that would have been fine. Because it'd have been like a father's looking out for his daughter, but I think he was doing the overkill because he had his opportunity to be in the camera, you know. And yeah, so I think that he should have. Excuse me. With Shane, that he didn't do nothing wrong. I don't think he did anything wrong. He didn't have an opportunity to do anything wrong. You know, so because she didn't talk to him, and who knows if she would have talked to him, he probably would have said that this was a training thing. You know, I'm training her on the side. You know, and it's opportunity. Starting off, it might have been free, and she's seeing how well things are going, and then it could have moved on to a paying customer. But we won't know because she's too busy going to the bathroom crying to the ex. And that right there is kind of goes in with puppy type thing. Because if she's an ex, she's an ex. You know, let her go. You know, and if a boy is an ex, you gotta let him go because he do know everything that you like to hear, and he is going to say exactly what you want to hear in order for him to get what he want later. Because you told him all your business, and even when they were dating, he knows everything that would your likes and your dislikes. And then the fact that she's like, he was saying, I told you not to marry him. Should have chose me, you know. So and she like, yeah. And the bottom line is she's just sexually frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she ain't getting it and she want it.
And I think that's I'm sorry, Sean, but I think that's the part too that everyone seems to forget as well. When men go through that whole process of seeing a woman give birth, not sure how much he saw, there is a mental block about doing it again. The way it used to be. They changed. It's something about that first child, that first experience.
I'm gonna
even though they know, huh?
I'm gonna say some men, because you know some men can't even wait 6 weeks because you know the So
yeah, I think everything for his life just changed so fast, and I think it's different seeing you be a mom, but it's different becoming a father and seeing you as the mother of his child. And I think those are just things that you just kind of have to think about and talk to, but they just don't talk.
Yeah,
their communication is horrible.
Because with the father, when the father was talking to him, and Shane opened up and said, "I was a little depressed. I'm feeling depressed." Now, if he was a good father figure, that was his opportunity to reach out to his son-in-law. You know, talk to his son-in-law, bring him in, and be like, "Well, what you depressed about?" And then he could have found out some more information, and then he could have shared it with his daughter and say the reason why he's feeling the way he's feeling. It has nothing to do with you. It's he's overwhelmed because, like you were saying, Johnny, all this stuff is new to him because he's only 23.
And the other thing about that, when he told him, he was like, "So you're regretting your decision about marrying my daughter?" And I'm like, "What the freak?"
I was like, where does that come from?
He did not say that. So I just feel like I do feel bad for Sean. His name's Sean too, right, Sean?
It's Shane. And then her ex is John. But sometimes it sounds like she's running their names together. So it's almost like Sean.
I do. I feel bad for Shane. I feel like he's just in a situation where nobody wants to help him and they're all just selfish about what they want and not really paying attention to what he needs or what he wants.
Now, do the father like John?
No, he cannot stand John.
So he don't know that that's the other option.
Oh, he knows it because his daughter has been running back and forth between John and other guys. John has been in the picture for years.
So and he would rather it work out with Shane.
I think so, yeah.
You think he'd help him then? Be Team Shane and stop coming against him like that. Right. Be depressed, you ain't doing nothing but making it worse.
Right. Because the first thing that comes to mind is you don't want. I'm pretty sure Shane did not have a problem with Summer. I'm pretty sure he loved the fact that baby was born because wasn't he there for the birth?
Yes.
So and then he was always there. And then that's another thing I didn't like. But now it might have been just me and Shane, but it looked like
pulling the baby
away.
Yeah.
You know, all the time he reaching for it. She
so, like
that's not cool. You know,
yeah. It seemed almost like she was like, "I got this. I've had kids. You haven't. And it's
Right.
like, but that's his kid, so let him hold the baby because maybe he can calm her down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did feel bad for him in that situation. Um, and even the way she was talking to him and he was being really nice to her. He's like, "Hey, can you be nice to me?" You know, because it's obvious. And I mean, I'm like, wow, she is really upset and really sexually frustrated right now.
Uh,
I'm like,
to go from 6 to 0, do that to a person.
I guess so. I guess so. Yeah, because yeah, she's taking it out on him bad.
Hmm. And then too, I wonder if they only show that he is really helping out at the house, but they trying to do the picture like he's not. Because the fact that he was reaching
Me,
for the baby, to me shows that he is willing to do something with Summer.
yeah,
So
especially he was reaching for a crying baby.
right,
Yeah,
Like most
yeah,
dads not gonna reach
yeah,
for a crying
'cause I'm like,
yeah. If she was like, hold the baby, and then like you taking, he's like, I'm going to play the football. That'd be different.
and
baby.
so yeah, so I feel for Shane. And if it turns out that that was just an innocent phone call, and she run into the bathroom talking to another person about her marriage, and that turned out not to be innocent, then that makes her out to be the bad guy. But
Yeah,
Right.
how
it is.
women don't cheat, so Shane ain't got nothing to worry about.
We don't cheat
Whatever.
that often.
Whatever.
And her, she was an exception to the rule. Okay.
Yeah. You gotta
The
remember she
majority
goes
of
six
us,
times a day. Like even her friends are like, if Lacey ain't getting it, something is wrong.
Mm.
So she is the exception to the policy. If you don't give it to her, she gonna cheat.
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. If she don't get it that third time of the day from her three times what she wanted a day, she's cheating. She
Yeah,
was
okay,
cheating.
so moving on.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the
She's a
thing. He should have been giving it to her just because he knows she'll cheat. Like,
yeah.
dang, don't make the girl cheat. Give it to her.
Right. He should have just took it for the team and gave it up to her. Just, all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, then she's getting upset saying that you ain't in it like you used to be.
Right.
Yeah, then he'd have to hear that. You don't even get hard like you used to. I'm not. I don't want to screw. I'm just trying to let you do what you do.
Look, she'd be like, they got stuff out there for that. Pop this pill.
You know,
I know. She crushing it up, putting it in his
I
OJ, giving
put
it
it in
to
drink.
him.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
He don't know what's going on with his body anymore. Being got him.
She like, ain't no wrong. You just want it 6 times a day like we used to. Come on.
Yeah. Nothing new is going on, sweetheart.
Yep.
There we go. Absolutely. All right, so our next, well, not really couple, but the next one to grace our screens was Deontay. So it's been 4 months, he says.
Yeah, 4
It's
months.
so crazy this time frame because I'm still trying to figure out all the others in the time frames too. So he says it's been 4 months and he is on a blind date. And so his cousin Derek or his friend Derek set him up and he admits that he's still in love with Nicole and he hasn't heard from her or talked to her in 4 months. So he says he's enjoying the date, but he can't stop thinking about Nicole. Right. And so then in another scene after his date, we see him, he's driving his car, his phone is ringing. He's like, oh, I'm not answering that. That's a bill collector. So yeah, I've got some debts because of Nicole. And he reveals that Nicole still is not answering his texts or his calls. And he decides to pop up to her mom's house. So he pops up there and he talks to her mom. And I feel like he had his words completely jumbled up because the way he expressed himself to his mom, it came out in a way I don't think he was trying to express himself
I don't
in.
think so.
But the way it came out, it felt like to her mom, like he was saying that Nicole owed him sex for everything that he's done for her. And so her mom basically, she tells him, if the way relationships work, if the person's not giving you what you want or what you need, then you leave it. Leave it alone. Yeah, walk away. And so she ends up telling him he's overstayed his welcome and he needs to leave. She really wasn't trying to hear it. So she read him really good and told him to leave. And so he leaves. And they show Nicole. Nicole reveals to us that she has had COVID twice. since she's been out. And her mom tells her what happened with Deontay, right? And so Tia comes over because she's coming for a visit. And Tia, she lives a couple of states over, but she's coming to visit for the week. I think that's what they had said. And so Nicole tells Tia about the visit from Deontay, and that Deontay had told her mom that basically she owes him sex for everything he did. Tia is of course upset by this, and her and Nicole end up going back and forth, but they end up squashing it because Tia was like, "We're just never going to see eye to eye on this situation." But Tia was kind of calling Nicole out on some stuff because she was like, "Well, I never asked Deontay to spend any money on me," but she was like, "But he was taking you out and stuff, and you spent the night at his house." And she's like, "Well, no, I never did that," and la la la. But Tia, she really wasn't trying to hear all of that. So, and that's kind of where their scenes ended. Oh, and Nicole has a job interview at like a tanning salon. But what shocked me about that scene when she told Tia about it, Tia seemed like Nicole is too good to work at a tanning salon. I'm like, she's trying, and she's also a convicted felon. She probably doesn't have a lot of options. But I don't know. What did you guys think? Racy? Oh, you're muted. Racy.
I didn't realize I was muted. Sorry. I feel like I'm kind of mad at the mom because I feel like she really wasn't trying to. Okay, so let me back it up. I understand where she was coming from because she got to look out for her daughter, and it's like, why are you showing up here randomly? That's not cool. But when he explained himself, I just felt like she kind of was just jumping into, oh, you think she owe you sex? Oh, this and that. When you look at today's society, does she owe him? I mean, he did a lot for you and you ain't give him nothing. So society wise, probably, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the worst thing to think like, well, you ain't do nothing for him. If you ain't giving him nothing, like give him his money back, do something. You ain't did nothing for the dude. So you just a user. But because we know that's what she was, it is what it is. But I felt like the mom just kind of painted him worse. And then when she went to Tia, she was like, when even she asked her mom, like, hey, is that exactly what he said? She said no. She went to Tia and was like, yeah, he came over saying that I owe him sex. You know what I mean? So I felt like then she turned around and did the same thing as her mom and painted it bad. I think Deontay needs to just leave him alone, period.
Yeah.
Move on, because obviously now you're coming off as somebody who they owe you something when in reality they don't. When it comes to how society looks at things, like, somebody doing all of these things for you, it's kind of expected. Like, you're gonna do something in return, whether it's sexual or whether it's pay it back, something. But we know who she is and how she is. So Deontay needs to just move on. I mean, the woman he went on a date with was very pretty. I'm like, give her a chance. Like, you don't even know because you're stuck on somebody who wasted your time, has a criminal record, is apparently bisexual. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you don't know she's telling you she wants an open relationship, so she don't want to be faithful. So to me, he's just wasting his time. I got it, he's in love, but I mean, I think he's in his 30s. Chances are, and he had the one that died or whatever, the other relationship. So he knows heartbreak, and he knows heartbreak doesn't last forever.
Right.
So I feel like he needs to move on, and he has a good opportunity because granted, I hope a girl, she is gonna be a rebound. So it kind of sucks for her, but you know what I mean? It's still do something different. Like, stop trying to run back to the one girl who, because even when in her confessional, she was all like, I miss Deontay. He took care of me. I miss him. He treated me like a queen. I miss him. I do miss him. She like, but I don't want to mess nothing up with Tia. So I feel like she's getting it. First of all, when she was with Deontay, she didn't have to do nothing. He provided everything. She with Tia, now all of a sudden she got to get a job because obviously she ain't got money coming in. Then she has to, she's missing him because she misses his money. But it's like, but you chose. So either choose the money or choose love. And if you're choosing love, then you go get that job and you do what you're doing. Stop trying to use the man because he need to move on himself. But I'm just like disappointed in him right now. I know things will probably get better for him eventually, but right now, this episode, I'm disappointed in how he was acting because you went on a date, had fun, and I got it being stuck on an ex, but even her mom was like, obviously she don't want you get out of here. You're no longer welcome. To me, that's your sign right there that it's done.
Yeah, when the mom came, now
Yeah, it's when he overstated. So you're done.
Yeah, I was totally annoyed that the mom came at him like that. You even told your daughter that she was wrong for using him that way, and for you to come at him like he's some type of sick pervert who's like, oh, I gave her thousands of dollars. She owes me sex. That's not, you should know that he felt more than that. And I really thought that was poor taste on her part. Because even if that were my daughter, I'd be like, I know, I'm so sorry you feel the way you feel. I hate that she used you like that, but she did. And you just, hopefully you can get over it, because I hope you ain't here thinking you can hurt my child. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the difference. Not sitting there making him feel like he is not right for feeling how he feels. He feels used. He felt neglected because she didn't give it to him, but she gave it to everybody else who didn't do shit for her. So at the end of the day, I just felt that whole thing was just totally wrong. And then even Tia said to Nicole, you knew what you were doing. And I would have expected sex too. If I did all the stuff he did for you, I would have expected something in return. And she was trying to say, well, it wouldn't have been like that. No, that's what it would have been like, because I would have expected the same thing. So I was hoping that he was gonna move on and try something new, but obviously he's not a kind of man that can deal with an independent woman. He wants someone who uses and abuses him. So I guess that'll be what he gets.
Unfortunately, I think he's gotten used to being used and abused and not treated the best, and I think that's what he's going to seek. Till he finds somebody else that treats him that same way. I believe it's normal to him. It's kind of like his normal. It's not everybody else's normal, because it wouldn't have been me. But yeah. So, Sean, what's the male perspective on this?
Well,
Tell me about Deontay.
well, first of all, I think they should have named this episode "Move On from Your Ex." Leave them alone. Don't bother them no more. They're no good for you. They're your ex for a reason. All of that stuff. Because with Deontay, he has an opportunity. Because I was thinking it. He has one book is closing, or one book half closed, and that book was black and white, book, no pictures. Now he has the opportunity to get a new book that is full of pictures and full of color. And when I mean by color, she got she got a job. All right.
Okay.
She have her own vehicle. She probably have her own place, and so she has all of that color going on for her, and he wants to hold on for that. He wants to hold on to that non-coloring book that does not have a job, that do not have their own place, do not have a car, is not willing to be committed in a relationship. And she got COVID twice, once from Zach and one from Tia. I'm just saying. but
I mean, at this rate, it could have been Zach and a guy walking his dog. I mean, we don't know. We don't know where that COVID came from.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he should walk away and give her that opportunity. This young lady, and I feel for her, because she's saying that why she is not in a relationship is because she seemed to attract the people that only want to use her for a rebound. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was so funny, because I can see if it was how you have Dante. They got a certain type of woman that he's looking for, so he goes out looking for that certain type of woman. She ain't looking for the people that want to rebound. They just happen to fall into her lap, and there go Dante fall into her lap, and he's another rebound.
Yeah.
I know. I was a little mad at Derek, right? Is that his
Yeah.
friend's
Yes.
name?
Yeah.
Why would he hook him up? Why would he hook her up with Deontay, knowing her history with the rebounds? I was a little mad at Derek on that one.
That was cool. And so now, then when he went to the house, yeah, he probably have a problem articulating himself. You know, I do at times too, and it did came off to me as well as to the mother that, oh, so you think that my daughter owed you sex, you know, for all that she done, and he didn't. I don't think that he meant to be like, yeah, that's what it is. No, that's what his intention is. After he was leaving, he was like, you know, he thought himself, hey, I could have did that, handle it differently, or I could have better articulated myself to where she would understand that, you know, it's just been a while and I miss her and I want to see if you know something that can help me get in good favor with your daughter. Now, because when I was in my 20s, yeah, early 20s, maybe I would have did something like that. But went to the mother or went to a family member, you know, and asked them, you know, you help me out. I'm trying to get in good with so and so. But the other thing, oh, when he said that she wasn't returning the text and it's been 4 months, first thing came to my mind is he the one paying that phone bill? You know, so if he's paying the phone bill, I would have turned that phone off like he claimed that he was supposed to have done.
Yeah.
So if he did not, because she ain't got no job, and I
Right.
don't see mom putting her on the plan. But if she did, then he buy the phone. So that's still his
Yeah.
phone.
Well, this would also be the question because if he turned off her phone and somebody else got her another phone, he wouldn't necessarily have the number if he hadn't talked to her in over 4 months. So it's got to be his phone that she still has.
Yeah, so that's right there.
Yeah.
Like off. You know, you don't want to talk to me, then hey, turn the phone off. And,
Exactly. He can get the bill and see who she's talking to and that she's actually talking to people. So I mean, that's dumb. And then you got the bill collectors calling you. He needs to turn that phone off.
right.
But that was a very good point. I forgot about that phone being in his name. Yeah.
And then with the whole, because Tia, how she was saying that if it was me, I'd have been expecting sex too. So I was like, oh, okay. So she do see where Deontay's coming from. And put Nicole once again lying about stuff, saying that, oh, I didn't sleep at his house. I was like, oh, okay, then what else you did not tell Tia? You know, 'cause I'm pretty
Right.
sure
Because she's going to see it once it airs. Why lie? That's what I don't understand. She loves to lie about things, but I'm like, they're going to be able to see this soon.
Right. So I feel for Deontay. He has an opportunity to move on. I suggest I would hope that he do, because like with the other two, you know, people, Puppy and Leslie, you know, let them go. You know, person that you ex for a reason, and she had already done showed you. Nicole done showed you. She didn't have to tell you. She done showed you that she don't want to be with you, and that she only wants you for your money. Because one of the times she had said about, I don't know, it was in the confession or when she was by herself, saying that how she would like to have a boob job.
Yeah, she still wants her boob job. Yep.
So that
She
tells
did
me
say that.
if he gets with him, it's gonna be long enough to get the boobs done. But if she sleep with that man one time, she can get everything done. She get the boobs done, and probably get herself a
Whatever her heart desires, that she do with that one time.
one time. You know, just one time. You know, so,
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sad. It's sad.
so I say she done showed what she showed her hand. You know, she showed you what she's about, and it's time to move on. 'Cause I get it. 'Cause I've been in love before, and you love the person, but that person don't love you in the same way, and if they done showed you that they don't want to be with you, then
Yeah, or
Take
they
it-
don't want you that way. Like she wants him. She wants him to keep giving her money, but she doesn't want him the same way he wants her. And and I get it. It's sometimes it's hard to recognize that and to remove yourself from that situation. But I mean, if you haven't talked to somebody in 4 months, that should definitely be the big sign right there that this person does not want the same things that you want.
and then
Because
too,
if she did, she would have talked to you.
Because about the expecting sex part, I can see if they was both in a type of relationship where she was giving him gifts as well, and then he's doing for her and she doing that to me would be one thing. But she knew that he wanted sex, so that right there for her to act like no, it's not like that. It was crazy because she knew what he wanted, just like he knew what he thought he knew what he wanted as far as the relationship goes. But yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you raised a good point there, Sean. Yeah. All right. So our next couple is Sean and Sarah.
Mhm.
So they're in the car and Sarah's texting the whole time they're in the car. She just texting and he's like, "Is everything?" No, I can't remember what he said to her, but she's like, "Oh, I'm just texting my best friend."
Mhm.
She doesn't say who the best friend is. My thing, I'm like, "Oh, tell us your best friend's name. Tell us his name."
Mhm.
That's what I wanted to hear. And so they stop at a pizza place to get some food. Sarah is overwhelmed. She can't, she's like, "Oh my God, I don't know what to order. I don't know what to do. I haven't been inside a pizza parlor in 6 years and I just don't know. Oh my God." And so once they sit down to eat, she reveals her secret to Sean, which I believe there's a couple of secrets with this girl, a couple of secrets with her. So she says her secret is that she has a 6-year-old daughter. Sean's reaction to me was almost laughable. So he's so disappointed. Oh, he's so feeling some kind of way. But
Wait,
you lied to her about having 6 children. She lied to you about one child.
hey, can we call him some other than Sean? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, we need a new nickname for him.
I know that's his name, but he.
He's
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah, we could give him a
Yeah,
new name. We do need to come up with a new
yeah,
name
he
for him.
making all the Sean's look bad out there.
Oh, is that what he's doing? Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel you.
because
I
this
feel
Sean
you.
is real crazy. This ain't that bad.
Just a little bit. Oh, I was saying he was messing up that Sean legacy name, like this much at least.
But go ahead on. You continue to call him Sean.
Okay.
I digress.
Um, I would say the man formerly known as Sean. So,
Uh,
and so
uh,
she is sitting there talking at the table, and you could tell she's kind of trying to or wanting to distance herself from the man formerly known as Sean. And so she's saying that Sean is one of those head first type of people, which I do believe that that's true. And he just dives in head first. And she says she's not that type of person. My only issue with her saying that is that you played upon the fact that you knew he dives in head first because you said a lot of things that got him to the place that he's at now. Now, do I think she had to do a lot of talking or convincing? No, I don't think she did a lot of talking, but I'm pretty sure she did. So. And he ran with the rest. So Sean also says to her, he suggests that, she says that she wants to go and see her daughter, right? So he knows, okay, they're not going to a hotel night. She's not spending the night with him. And so he
Mhm.
suggests that, okay, well, on our drive, we should find a place to pull over, so we can get it in. And she almost looks disgusted to me, in my opinion. You could tell she wasn't interested in that at all. And so, it's obvious she doesn't want to have sex with him. And so while they're in the car riding to, I guess, what he thinks is her mom's house, I guess that's where he thinks they're driving to. I don't know where they're supposed to be driving to. She tells him that she thinks that it would be best for him to drop her off somewhere and then her mom come and pick her up. She's like, "Yeah, you can just drop me off like at a parking lot or something." And he's taken aback, like, "Drop you off at a parking lot?" So yeah, so they're driving and she's like, "Oh, actually pull into this parking lot right here. I told my mom she can get me from here." Which it was a random parking lot. And I'm like, huh? But sure enough, a car pulls in and she's like, "Oh, my ride is here." And Sean, he wants to get out and give her a hug. And she's like, "No, don't get out of the car." And she says it so quickly. And so she gets out of the car, grabs her bag, and gets into the other vehicle. So as Sarah and the other vehicle are leaving out, Sean pulls up behind them. I think honestly he was just trying to leave.
Mhm.
Um, But Sarah jumps out the car and runs over and is like, well, what are you doing? I told you not to follow me. You better not follow me. She says it in a very stern voice to him. She's very stern with him. And she tells him, he was like, well, I'm just trying to leave. And she's like, well, there's another entrance that you can get out of. So you better not follow me. So Sean says he feels used. And which, I mean, his instincts are right. Something's not right with this girl. Something's not right. So what do we think? What do you think her child is the only secret that she has? Do you think that there was a man in the car? And then with all that texting, was she really texting like her mom and her best friend? What do you guys think?
I think it's the baby daddy.
Yeah.
I think that's who it is. I think she I think she's, I mean, has she really even, I know that she's had time, but obviously not around him to either move on or figure out their whole thing. Because I almost think she had the baby in jail.
No.
Or did she have the baby?
Right. No, she wouldn't have just, the baby was 6 months.
Okay. Because I was like, dang. But she, yeah, I think it's the baby daddy.
Me too. Because she never says like anything about him. So it's like, yeah, she shows pictures of her and the baby, but maybe there's pictures of her, him, and the baby, but we don't know that because we ain't seeing it.
Right.
And it's like, maybe because her mom has kept the baby. Maybe the baby daddy lives with the mom too. Who knows? We don't know any of it right now. Or it could be that, you know, they both been out the baby's life and they finna go meet them together, or they finna go to a hotel. I don't know, but I'm with Johnny. I think it's the baby daddy, and she definitely had other stuff because she was real weird when she was all like, yeah, I'm good. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you talking to? Like, and then I'm just wondering, does the person that picked her up, because, you know, he said the way they were angled, he couldn't see them. So obviously they probably couldn't see him. Possibly, I guess. They may not have been able to see him. So I'm wondering, do they know about him? Or, you know, it's going to be like the Nicole thing where Tia knew all about Deontay. Or is it she hiding secrets from this person too? I'm curious because I'm like, she's really weird. I mean, and this is a murderer, so it's not like she's super innocent. And I know it ain't murder, like she ain't go stab him or shoot him, but I mean, she helped overdose somebody. You know what I'm saying? She's not innocent. She comes out that way though.
She does. She knows how to lay it on thick. Mm-hmm. She really does. And but she can also turn it off quick too, because you saw how stern she got with Sean, where she was, you know, I can't even pick out pizza toppings. I'm so anxious right now to, you better not follow me. You know, she snapped quickly. I definitely think it's a guy, and I would not be shocked to find out that the guy knows about Sean. And it's probably okay with her, you know, having a trick.
Yeah, because there's no relationship there. But you know, he never said how much he gave her or how much she got from him. Even when she got out, it was very basic. Although, again, he gave her a phone.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, what is up with you, men? Just giving people phones like
they want that phone number for sure.
Yeah, I was like, good God.
They feel like she'll definitely answer on their line. Yeah.
Look, I ain't never got a phone, and I ain't been in jail. What's up with that?
I feel you, Reese. I'm right there with you.
I need to just go around pretending like, yeah, I was locked up.
I know.
Give me a phone.
I know.
Look, just have them drop you off in a van. They don't know. Like, this is the van that drops the prisoners off. I need my phone though, and my $1,000.
Something that I noticed, but I don't know. When she got released, she was driven up to him. Did y'all see that? So I'm like, did she really just get released, or did somebody just bring her there and drop her off? That was one thing that I did notice. And then two, she had like a bag, whereas all these other people, when they got out of prison, they had like their stuff like in box.
Mm-hmm.
So
she said she wasn't sure that she was going to even allow him to pick her up.
Yeah.
So she may have had other people on standby to pick her up and wasn't really sure what she wanted to do, but she allowed him to do it. But
Yeah.
I just thought she was so weird, so flaky. It was the craziest bipolar change to see on TV.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She was.
Because it came out
Jekyll
of
and Hyde.
nowhere. Yeah, she told it. I don't know if she just didn't get enough of that vodka out that glass or what, boy, but she just turned
Yeah,
into
she
a whole
changed.
different person.
Look, maybe she
Really
got
did.
too much, and now she like, hey, I can't keep this fakeness,
No.
huh?
Yeah, but she even said, which was really odd, she said that she has never had sex with a guy sober.
Right.
That was weird. I was like, wait a minute. I'm sure you had to have at least once, you know, but I don't know.
Not sure what that's about, but
Yeah.
obviously, I guess if she was a little more drunk, they would have pulled over and had sex in the car.
She did suggest the cornfields.
I know, right? Who does
Yeah,
that?
but it's just crazy because she completely changed, like,
Shit.
you know, and I know he was saying that she had told him, you know, they talk about sex and she'd be like, well, once you have sex with me, you'll never want to have sex with anybody else and all this other stuff. I'm like, girl.
Because you'd be recovering from being overdosed.
Oh,
That's why you'll never come back.
yeah. I mean, her drugs will knock out your memory of anybody else. So, you know, she was all you're going to want.
Oh, goodness.
Absolutely. Hey, Sean, you've been quiet. What's going on? What is the deal with your boy, Sean? What's the deal with him?
You speak for all Sean's now.
Okay. I think the person that's in the vehicle is a friend. I don't think it's the baby daddy, because she had mentioned in the about the baby daddy was not in the picture once the baby was born. Now she could be lying. That's true.
Or they could have reconnected.
Yeah, that's a possibility too. But I wasn't thinking about this until you had mentioned that the truck, she was dropped off from prison. So maybe the first day she was dropped off by the first person that she was supposed to meet with, and that didn't work out well. So then she decided to meet with Sean, and then Sean had the vodka and the pizza, and she didn't really feel Sean, so she told Sean to drop him off in the field so that the next person.
Yes, I mean, that's very possible. I felt like she was pulling, what's old face Anissa's man name? Jeff. I felt almost like maybe she was pulling a Jeff, like maybe she had been out of prison a couple of days, you know, and the person that dropped her off was somebody she had been hanging out with. Because I just thought that was odd. We didn't see anybody else with the exception of Ray, but he was in a prison van. So, you know, we know that. But outside of that, we saw them coming out of prison, you know.
And then,
so, yeah, that was what was weird to me.
And then how she told him to sit in the car, and Sean was on
yeah,
the
oh, she was very adamant about that.
First person didn't.
Oh, she was so bossy. I was laughing at that.
Because that's the only time through that whole thing that I felt bad for Sean.
But when she said sit in the car.
Yeah, so sit in the car. And then when he started to drive off, and she's like, "Don't follow me. I told you don't follow me." And then she drove off talking about psycho.
Psycho.
Yeah.
He is a little psycho, but girl, you created the situation you're in right now. Hopping from car to car, and you calling somebody else psycho. User.
So once she had got out the car the first time and said, "Don't follow me," I said, "Well, give me my phone." So
right.
Then that would have been into that, and then he wouldn't have to worry about feeling used, you know. In the pizza part, when they was in the pizza and she seemed overwhelmed, I think personally that's the vodka was wearing off, and she was.
She was becoming sober, huh?
Sober, and then she was like, "Oh man, I need to tell this man the truth." And that part right there just made me so disgusted with my fellow Sean. Because
or you can call him the sucker if you like. I think that's a good name for him, the sucker.
He's a deadbeat.
Yeah.
When she said she had a child, and I was like, "Oh snap! The deadbeat is coming alive." because he looked like he was trying to see where he can run, see how he's so from his own kids. And he probably was thinking in his mind, I don't take care of my own children, and I'm gonna get involved with her. I got to deal with her kid. Nah, this ain't right. So let me see if I can get some sex out the deal first.
Yeah.
So that was kind of how he was, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had his
I can't believe she got the kids. She know I don't deal with women that have
kids. Like, really?
Yeah.
So I was like, dog, dude, it was your opportunity to say, well, I think I have 6, 7.
That was his chance, but instead he decided to kind of act hurt that she had kept this secret from him, the one baby.
How dare you keep this secret away from me? Even though the same time I was talking to you, I was talking to the other psycho from another prison. He could have said something like that, just brought it up. Ease it on into conversation to still make her feel guilty about keeping the secret, and he spilled his beans. But no, he wants to act like he's so perfect and he never did anything wrong. So it's all on her. So, like I said, the only time throughout that whole thing I felt bad for Sean was when she told him to stay in the car and don't follow me. Because other than that, he did what he deserved. The fact too that he moved a different state, gave up his job, did all that for a woman that's car hopping. So,
yeah, you've done all that for a lady that jumped in the car with somebody else, basically at a random parking lot, and ran off on you.
Lord.
And like it wouldn't even be, because I understand the whole meeting the mom, the meeting the kid. That's 100% understand. You don't know him for real.
Right.
Like, so you do want to go home, talk to your mom, get to know your daughter again before he can meet your daughter, because you don't even know her. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the mom, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Because if the mom don't want to meet yet, that's her business if you told her all like last minute. But I'm like, when they was in that restaurant and he said he got mad, and like Sean said, he was ready to run away because he was like, kids, oh no. Now if you ain't got no kids and you thought you was meeting somebody with no kids, great. And she said this, now that's a bombshell. But I'm like, even in his confessional, he was like, well, I got to figure out when I can tell her because I don't even remember how many kids I told her I had.
Right.
You got 6 kids.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be talking about some, I don't even know how many I had. And then if you gonna say that, then you have no right to be mad at any bombshell she drops about children. She could have said, I got 15. You lied about yours too. So that made me very upset with him. I was like, dude, you really are a loser. I'm like, I'm with Sean. He a deadbeat. Because I'm like, dude, you don't take care of your kids. You claim you see him once a month, and I think he doesn't. And then you doggone get mad at her for 1? Yeah, that makes 7 kids, but hey. She thinks she coming into something with 3 kids. I'm like, he off the chain. Like, I was really disappointed in him, but I also would have been like, give me my phone back. I mean, I'm more petty though than he. I guess these men ain't so petty. That's good to know, I guess. They ain't petty, but I'm like, dude, I would have been like, give me my phone back. That money I gave you, give me that back.
And some of the things he dealt with Destiny, it doesn't shock me that, like, for her to drive off with that phone, he'll probably pay for her phone for a year. He'll be just like Deontay. You know what? They're twins. They're twins. They do a lot of stuff just alike. They'll allow a woman to run all over them. Like, trust me, he's going to be chasing behind Sarah. I see that right now. I think once she gets where she gets and she's comfortable, she's going to call him and she's going to lay on that charm yet again. It didn't
really end it or nothing, though, did they? Like, it really wasn't the end. She just said, you can't meet my family right now. And
yeah.
I don't feel like they ended it so much as it just was real awkward.
Well, the fact she goes off and says cycle, to me, that's a big turn off. I mean, that, maybe her mind is over. But he didn't hear her say cycle, so I guess he could get on that.
Yeah. But I don't even know if he heard her say it that would affect him any.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
because I'll go out the other exit. I'm like, no, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go this way. And you knew I was going this direction. So if you go this direction, so
Yeah,
you
I
knew
would
I
be
was
like,
going there
why
before I
can't I go
dropped you
this
off.
way? Yeah, I'm gonna make a right turn. Y'all are making a left. What is the issue? You know?
And if they make a right, oh well, because he was going that direction when they started.
When they
You can't get
started,
mad at
yeah.
him for going the same direction he was already going.
Yeah.
Because he can pull out, go that direction, see which way they're going. If he want to be psycho, he can slow down, let him pass, and then follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd have to go a whole nother route. Like, you can't tell this man he can't take the same exit out of the parking lot. Like, his car is closer to that spot. Where was the other spot? I ain't see another spot. I'm like, girl, stop. She being too
Yeah.
much.
And two, the first sign when a person say "Don't follow me," that's pretty much telling me to follow.
Okay.
So you saying it's time to follow?
Yeah,
Yeah, he should have sat in that parking lot, waited for about 2-3 cars to pass on that highway, then turned and went that way and looked for that car. Although I have to admit, when I first saw the car, I was like, no, that a man wouldn't drive that car. But yeah, a man would, I guess, if he had another baby mama.
Yeah, or if that was the best he could afford.
Yeah, like the car didn't look very masculine, but she was just acting too flaky for it not to be a man.
Yeah,
because it looked
absolutely. Or it could have been like a Tia driving that car.
Yeah. She could be, because she said like she'd be a boss in jail.
Mm-hmm.
She was totally running the jail.
Yeah,
her little innocent self.
If she pulled up with a female friend, I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah,
no.
Like, that's probably your girlfriend, ain't it?
Yeah,
no.
I don't know with these women and the men.
Yeah,
maybe we need to create our own prison profiles and see if we can get some free stuff.
That's what I'm saying, man.
That new iPhone coming out.
I know. I might need to try that. See how that works for me.
I know, and they love to flip that. Look at T-Mobile; they love to have that purple one. Just that. I'm like, man, y'all know I don't do iPhones, but I might get it because it's perfect.
I'm so with you, Reese. I love that purple phone, but I did see the fold phones.
Yeah,
the Samsung fold phones. They're really nice, and they have purple too. And I was like, but I can't swing that price though.
I can't either. Look, I went ahead and got me a 21. I can't do it. Like,
you don't have
to save up for that one because you got to put a down payment just to get your monthly payment low.
Reese, me and you, let's create this prison profile and see if we can get us a phone.
Exactly.
Maybe we can have it on here.
We get the one that flips this way or that way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I might get both of them.
Exactly.
Well, you got one man for each phone.
Look, I got one on Sprint, one on Verizon. I got my T-Mobile.
See how we can work this out.
That's what I'm saying, man, because they don't even care. And then at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you might be breaking hearts, but then they'll meet somebody else, and then they'll
meet another prisoner. We can put like a background.
You've been through enough hurt.
Yeah. You know what? My basement is missing the flooring, so I can take pictures like I'm in some type of holding cell.
I'm about to drive down and look. I'm about to drive down and get some pictures too.
Yeah, I got a broken up bed somewhere around in here. I'll find it, and I can just place it in there and just look all pitiful.
Look,
you're trying to make it look like you
like they don't even do us right in this prison.
Look, you're trying to make it look like you really in one of those camp kind of prisons.
Exactly.
Yeah, like hers is
like the Taliban got you, huh, girl?
Basically, they chained up. It's like they don't do that in jail.
You're like, no, because the Taliban got me. The Taliban got me. That's why.
So you over in Afghanistan? What happened?
Yeah, like you can't come visit me. You know.
You can't visit, you know.
You can't come, but they said send $1 million.
Right. See how much you're willing to pay to help me.
Look, and they took over my Cash App, so you gotta send it to my Cash App. So really, they're gonna get it.
Yeah,
they're actually controlling that. I promise. See the newspapers today's day. Then they say they don't chop my head off.
Send me some coin.
They make it seem, Sean, you can do it too, man. The girls ain't spending that money. Look at Anissa.
Yeah.
Get you
I'll do that.
Anissa.
Let's create our profiles and see what we can get.
Right.
Get you an
Now,
Anissa.
Sean, you may have to go for an older woman, as we've seen. Brittany and old face Anissa. You know, you'll have to deal with an older woman. But you will get the coin. You will get the coin, Sean. Yeah, you will get it.
No. No. I'm
You
saying
ain't trying to get that flip phone, the
No,
one that
I
flip.
know.
They ain't talking about regular flip phone. We
No,
talking about
no,
it
no.
flip
listen,
open like this and it look like a tablet. You ain't trying to get that.
It's a nice square.
I didn't say a note about that. I'm saying note about talking about Brittany.
Oh,
Uh,
he gonna make a profile. He just said
And
no.
the
Brittany ain't
women
old. Okay.
usually have older faces. So you'd have to deal with an older face like Brittany or Anissa. But
I have to
you
admit
know,
though, I look forward to that next week, seeing Ray put Brittany in her
Yeah.
place.
yeah.
I'm like, oh.
And
Yeah.
I was like, they better not play with me. It better be in next week's episode.
Yeah. You're
Well, I
right.
didn't see the preview, so I ain't even mad right now.
Yeah, and then did y'all see that? What's her face? Lisa catches Stan. I guess he's texting or calling some woman on the side, and then she's like, "Are you ready to pick a wedding date?" So
A
I'm like,
woman?
"Oh, you're gonna run down the aisle now that your money in jeopardy."
He texting a woman. A woman.
Oh, that what he said?
Yeah, that is
He's texting a
true.
woman.
That is true. We've seen some pictures online of Stan, so we don't. I'm not for sure that Stan is quite into women like that.
Well, yeah, I think he is into women. He's into women that likes to play. Play with
Wait a
carrots.
minute. Say that
Play
again.
with carrots.
Play with cucumbers, carrots.
Ew, nah, carrots.
Shave down
Yeah.
carrots.
Yeah, I ain't buying that. That was a woman he texting.
It was a woman.
Transgender, maybe. I don't want to get that shut down. I'll be quiet. Another man, maybe. I bet you somebody with like one of them names that go both ways, like Alex or I don't know. Apparently Ashley goes both ways. You know.
You remember Pat from Saturday Night Live?
Pat, yeah, Pat can go both ways. That's what it was. It's one of them, and she's like, "Oh, who is Pat? Who is Alex?" And I ain't realizing, dudes.
I love the audacity. I swear the people's audacity these days is amazing.
Right, you know you don't want that man like that, but you're
how
gonna
you
tell
there
us.
getting mad when you are already screwing the next bitch? Like, really?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true. She got an Alex in her phone and a Pat in her phone.
Exactly.
yeah, and then doing revenge porn on the man online. Even though I get it, that was tape before she did that, but still.
Yeah, that was messed up.
She's so wrong for that. I think penalty for that should go both ways, not just when men do it. Women, I don't know why when it comes to sexual behaviors, women get passes, and I just think that's just as wrong.
It's revenge porn regardless. Like, I know he can't get nothing out of suing her, but he literally can sue her.
Yeah.
Like, that's revenge porn.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's messed up. And why he would do that, I'm puzzled. Like, I don't get it. I wish somebody could explain how do those contraptions work, because if nobody else is getting nothing out of it, why are you doing that? I'm sorry.
Right.
I don't even get it. Like, it's...
Just kind of let our viewers know like what it is we're talking about. There was some pictures released by Lisa, and it was of Stan in a compromising position. She was wearing what do we say? One of her
toys.
One of her toys, and then he was giving it oral. So that's what we were talking about. So that's why Reese was saying neither one of them is getting pleasure. Why do it? Which I totally understand. What's the point if?
Other than he gets turned on by doing it, but in that case, then you must really be bisexual.
Yeah.
Well, this is really.
Is he really?
Sean, how do you feel when you put a whole hot dog in your mouth? Does it not make you feel a little off?
Yeah.
Like you ain't ever
Like
been
a whole
so
banana.
hungry.
I'm sure you take small bites of that banana.
Look,
You
ain't never
might
been
break
so
that
hungry.
thing.
You ain't never been so hungry. You got a cheese chili dog packed on there and was like, they're like, dang, how did that just look? How did that look?
Yeah, okay.
He had to show that he a dad because he was like, I'm a dad, so I can't be. I ain't sure that cut. I got kids. Yeah, I know what it is.
Well, Stan, I'm sorry for you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no, do you understand what?
I feel bad for Stan. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
'cause
that he's
that
going through
was-
that. His family. I just think that's just totally wrong.
His daughter.
Yeah, it was.
And
It
plus,
was totally wrong. She should be punished for what she did.
Yeah.
Should be.
It has to be a violation of parole.
I mean, it's revenge porn, so she's the one who did
Well.
it. So if he sued her, I'm sure that's gonna compromise her parole.
I mean, can't they get her? Because didn't she say she made those strap-ons when she was in prison? She took it outside of the prison. So can't we get her with stealing the state property or something?
Contraband.
Hey, but Stan was like, "Don't you leave her alone." Like you leave her alone.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Stan
Stan's
was
over
like,
there
"I'm
talking
not
to him
giving
like
that up."
somebody's dad. You leave her alone. She didn't do anything wrong.
He was like, "Who else gonna do what she do? Nope, go away, y'all." He tell them, "Please get out of here. Gone now. Gone."
You can call her brother and tell her brother to go talk to her. Yeah.
Man, the brother be ready to beat Stan up.
No, I'm talking about the brother need to talk to the sister or Stan.
Oh, yeah. She about that money, even though it ain't much. She about that money. I mean, and I ain't downplaying 130 something $1,000 a year because that's good money, but that ain't living the rich life money. That's just good money. Like, you know, I go out to eat every night. I can get some new clothes. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't happen if I can afford to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it ain't that rich. Like we finna go out and just drop thousands and thousands type rich. No.
Right.
So it ain't like she just completely 100% after the money. Because honestly, I don't even know if I would have probably had to change my parole address at that side of the house. Like you said, you was rich. This is not what I expected. Like I might as well be like back in a regular house. This just it ain't even big. Like this is a regular house that's like old. I'm like.
Yeah,
I'd be like, I'm a parole somewhere else.
Yeah, it needs some updates. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Look, we ain't supposed to be talking about his house because we talking about that whole situation. But the house, terrible. That situation, terrible. You know, I mean, it's all bad. And you know, Shine, your boy, he out in them streets looking bad right now.
Yeah.
Formerly known as my boy.
I mean, that's why they say don't put yourself in those positions.
Yeah.
And you know, you just can never trust people, even people you think you can trust.
I wouldn't trust her like
I wouldn't trust. I don't know why he trusted her like that. I just.
Yeah, no, I can see Sean trusting Sarah like that, and I bet you she'd do the same thing, do some revenge porn on him too.
Yeah, but he just 100% like.
Because he was.
I'd even give Deontay some credit because I mean Deontay, yeah, he in debt right now, and he's like, you know what I'm saying, but he still got his own stuff. He ain't as bad off as he was in that first one. Sean then moved to a whole nother location, and this girl probably don't even realize like he ain't just in town visiting. He moved here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
she doesn't realize.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you quit your job and move unless you work from home? That's the only way I can understand it. But you quit your job, moved, have nothing right now, and now you with somebody who told you stay in the car, don't even get out, don't even come out the same exit as me. You go down to that other one. You know what I'm saying? Like
hilarious. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
She promised you know, unlike with Deontay, this girl promised you some sex, and she made it very clear you're not getting it.
But she also said maybe we can stop on the cornfields. So even while denying him, she still gave him hope, but still was like, nah, you stay in this car. As a matter of fact, drive me up here. Don't even come no further. Like, where is here? Because, I mean, what?
Yeah, but clearly
It was
she
so
knew where they
random.
were. Yeah,
Oh
she
yeah.
knew where they were to
You
have
knew where
somebody
they
come in
were.
and meet her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because how did you know the address to that random parking lot?
Yeah.
No, you knew exactly where you were, and yeah, like that was just sad to me. But yeah, so our last couple, we're about to wrap this up, is John and Christiana. So theirs was really quick. They just kind of followed up with what happened last week. So last week, John had surprised Christiana with a Bonnie and Clyde photo shoot. Now, I'm sorry, this man is just a little too obsessed with Bonnie and Clyde to me.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and so Christiana actually accepts the marriage proposal. That's what I was wondering because I was like, last week I don't think she actually said yes to it, but it turns out she did.
She said she had to think about it.
And then it was still crazy because she was still looking pissed off when she said it. She's like, yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, girl, you're supposed to be happy. You're about
She
to
didn't say
plan
yes.
your
I
wedding.
think she said, of course.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
something like that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. And
That's
so,
what
yeah.
that's what I'm gonna do. And when a man finally proposes, I'm be like,
When you marry, oh yeah, of course.
Oh, no, you're going to be excited. You're not going to be that way.
You flipping them off at the same time. They're like, that ain't even your personality.
I
It
know.
doesn't matter. That's what I'm gonna do.
Right.
oh my gosh. You know what? I
Or
might
drink
be
on
that
it.
way because
Yeah.
I'll be freaking 85.
It'll be all right, girl. You can spin your wheelchair around and roll on off,
You know?
She got an attitude with it too. Of course.
Yeah, of course.
What did you think I was going to say to you? Like,
And we
it was
already
just
married.
weird. Yeah, she was so, can I say hostile? She was just seemed, like I said, pissed off at everything going on. And so they finished this photo shoot. Some of the pictures got better, but she was still looking like, what's that lady from like those old movies? And she's always like scowling, looking crazy, so that's what she reminded me of during this photo shoot. And yeah, and then John talks about, well, if Christiana dies, she needs to have somebody available to hit him in the head and put him in there with her. I'm like, honey, you're just going so far.
I love how she dies first. That's what I love.
Yeah,
Not him, but no, if you die, make sure someone's there to put me in the ground with you because I'm going to.
Yeah. I mean, she did not share. I mean, she might share his sentiment, but she didn't share it then. Like, yeah, babe, if you die, I would have to go too.
Mm-hmm.
No, she didn't say it.
I'd be like, dang, because if you go first.
Yeah. And it was funny. He was like,
some policy? Did you have an insurance policy if you go first?
Maybe then she would crack a smile. She might be like, oh, policy?
Yeah.
I know. We were like, she ain't smiled at all the whole time.
No, she was totally like.
Yeah.
Give my commentary like that about her.
Well, give us some of your commentary about it, Johnny.
No. She just looks totally miserable. I don't understand why she's with him.
Mm-hmm.
That was horrible. To each his own. It'll be interesting to hear her finally talk to her sister, because I think we're still not clear on the fact of what all really happened. Did they kiss and stuff like that? So she's excited to share the news with her sister, and it'll be interesting to see what she says.
Yeah, which I thought that was weird because I don't know that I'd be ready to talk to her quite yet. But again, we don't know the time frame of this.
Right. Yeah. I really wish they would just like, hey, shout out to WeTV. Can you please put 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, a month, a year, so we could kind of have an idea of what's going on? Not thinking it's 3 days, 2 days, 24 hours. Like, help us out.
Yeah, because if it was just 2 weeks ago, no, I would not be ready to see my sister yet.
No.
Now, maybe it's been a year. Yeah, I've gotten over it by now. But
if she forgave him, then she should forgive her.
She has to forgive her. Yeah.
That wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, that is true. But some of these women out there, that man, they gonna forgive him, but they'll hold anybody else's feet to the fire
But then
when it comes to their relationships.
they need to start waking up, because we're gonna forgive the man that did wrong. You
Right,
need to get wrong with.
Yeah.
right.
Don't hold her to the fire, and then
Yeah,
let him
that
walk on his own.
yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, she shouldn't be mad at her anymore if she forgave him.
If she
should've
forgave him.
her.
But did she really forgive him?
Yeah, that's
I
true.
know the way she looks. It looks like she
The way she
has
looked
forgiven.
don't look like she did.
So maybe she want to get them both together, and then she's gonna do a Bonnie and Clyde on the husband.
On both of them.
Maybe she hit the sister in the face already, so maybe that's what she wants, to get them two together so she can fight both of them at the same time. And I think she could take them on because he's so tiny.
Yeah, she looks
He's a
like
tiny
she can.
man, but he's so little.
The only thing she got to do is push him. He's gonna take him.
Oh yeah,
up. You know.
yeah. Have him outside when a windstorm comes along. The wind will do her a favor and blow him away. Absolutely. So I don't know. We shall see. What did you think of these scenes, Reese? Oh, Bonnie and Clyde.
I was happy that the pictures started looking better because, oh my gosh, I was like, if them pictures stayed the way they initially were, I was like, stop wasting that photographer's time. Because, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they weren't amazing, but they did get a little softer and a little bit more, like, you could see a little bit more happiness, I guess. Like, I got, they were still kind of mean mugging, but then when they kissed, you could tell there was, like, some love there, I guess. I mean, I don't know that that this is like for real gonna work out, because I feel like, they still haven't been honest with her. So once some more stuff come out, like, they might not even make it to the point of marriage. Hopefully they don't, because I do hope that all this comes out before they're already married. No, I forgot, they're already married. So I hope that it comes out before they go and spend money on another wedding, because if you're gonna get divorced, that's a wedding plus a divorce you gotta pay for. But I mean, if she's one of them type that's gonna stay with him no matter what, then it is what it is. Like, hey, be your Bonnie and Clyde, but didn't Bonnie and Clyde die at the end? So, I mean, do you really want to be Bonnie and Clyde?
Right.
Yeah,
So, I don't know. I mean, they really didn't show enough of them to really get just a good gauge on how we really think they feel about each other. But I mean, I guess she loved him, and I was happy that, like I said, I was happy the pictures started looking better, because I felt bad for the photographer at one point, because, like, how do you make these look good?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing, like, the initial pictures before he said, will you marry me? It just was like, you know what I mean? It's, how do you even fix that? So those pictures, I feel like you can't even use.
Mm-mm.
They wasted her time initially, but then it got better, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, because
Wasn't
even
nothing,
their
like,
costumes
spectacular.
got better.
Mhm.
I mean, when she had that gun, I was like, man.
I know. There was one point he had it like propped up on his shoulder. I was like, oh, if that was real, she'd probably tilt that thing.
Like, she probably had some thoughts about what she would do with that gun with him.
Yeah.
But, I'm like, if you like it, I love it, I guess. I mean, it definitely was not the photo shoot I've ever seen in my life. Like, so if you want to be unique, that was unique.
That was.
Y'all wanted to be thugs. Y'all was thugs.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the look was supposed to be, but they did it. That's what it was giving. It was giving thuggish Bonnie and Clyde. You got it. They won.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you have any thoughts about this couple, Sean?
Not really.
Okay.
They're boring right now.
I can understand it. Yeah, they've been pretty boring. So I'm ready to see something go on. Let's see them,
When
playing
the
this
sister
game.
come back in the picture, I'm sure it'll get good.
It'll get, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, so I'm ready for next week's episode. Hopefully they show us Brittany and Ray. I hope that does occur. They can drop Deontay and Nicole. I've seen enough of them, and I just feel like I see where this is going to go.
But she got to get her boobs done.
Yeah, so I have a feeling she's going to somehow weasel her way back into his life. And
Yeah, you saw with them big ass fake crocodile tears. I thought I was gonna be mad, but I really miss you.
yeah, she
Why won't he just give that girl a chance, like the other girl, the new girl?
Yeah, he really
She was
should.
pretty.
She was pretty and she was outgoing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he said, she wasn't out there like he's like she ain't out here in high heels, so she knows how to act appropriate for the event. And so
And
that's
shout out to Deontay for their first date. I like
Yeah,
stuff
that
like
was a cool
that.
first
Yeah.
date. Yeah.
it was.
You know, sometimes eating out can be uncomfortable. A walk at
Yeah.
the park, a freaking boat ride, paddle boat. I thought that was really cool. So shout out to
Yeah.
him for thinking outside the box on that one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was sweet, and obviously, it wasn't like that's just cheap or something. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't taking them to McDonald's and like
Yeah.
get a Happy Meal
A
menu.
thoughtful date.
It's
Yeah,
it
it was
was a thoughtful first date. That's sometimes all
Yeah.
you need is to try and get to know a person,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
just to see what they're about before you start investing more time and money.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion.
And she said he looked good. Like, come on, just go with it and see what happens.
Yeah.
You say that about a second date. She mentioned
Yeah,
that.
and that's what he said though. When he said that though, I was like, she ain't getting a second date. 'Cause he
Yeah.
said, wow, you feeling it like that already?
Right.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not
He
trying
like
to
he's
rush
trying
that.
to rush.
I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
he's
but
trying
if
to
you had
rush.
blonde hair, you'd be rushing things. You
Yeah.
know?
Nah,
And
he,
then-
what you call it?
Oh,
Because he
Go
didn't
ahead.
want to rush. He didn't want to rush it because she had her life together. So he don't want nobody that got their life together.
mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
He was one of losers.
Yeah, he's
did-
like Sean. He wants a problem. He wants
Yeah.
a problem and enjoys a problem.
But she
Yeah.
said something about since you brought up a second date. I'm like, no, you brought up the second date. Wait, what happened? I missed something because she said
I was like,
since you brought up the
wait a
second
minute,
date.
did they cut something? Like we
Yeah.
over here acting like Bravo now.
Right.
I'm like, you brought up the second date
Nah,
because
she
he was
brought
like,
that
oh wow.
You
You
trying to
know,
move on
she-
already?
Look, and she said, I usually don't do that. And I'm like, but then at the end credit, at the end, she like, telling him, since you brought up a second date, I'm like, he didn't do that. You did that. He actually felt obligated, I guess, to say yeah. But I think he
Yeah.
should because he was like, he like her eyes, whatever. We know that ain't his type. But
Right.
try something. Just try it
Try
and see.
something
Like,
different.
Yeah, go outside the box. Yeah. You may be
Yeah.
surprised with what you get, you know?
Yeah.
Yep. He needed to color outside the lines. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Well, I think he's already been coloring outside the lines. He need to get inside the lines now. He's already been doing too much outside the line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't be using the right, he been using the right crayon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, use the blue instead of green.
Yeah.
Yeah, try some other colors in the box, you know.
Right.
Yeah, stop being cheap and getting that 8-color box. Get the 64 color box.
And look, and if you're gonna use the 8 color, like use all the colors. Stop using just the blue
Just the one.
Yeah.
or the green, whatever I said.
Right, exactly. All right, well, guys, this was this week's episode of Life After Lockup. So I hope you enjoyed this show. You can always catch us every Saturday. We do a recap of the episode Friday, and then also catch us on Mondays when we do a recap of Real Housewives of Potomac. All right, so make sure you catch us Monday. Usually we're on around 7, so that's our next show. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button on your way out. And thank you for watching. Bye.